this is Dana and welcome to the Orchid Hut for another episode of One Thing You Need to Know for Taking Care of Your Orchids. In the previous One Thing You Need to Know video, we were talking about this Friend's Princess orchid, and I am repotting it today. In the video right before this one, we cut the bloom spikes and treated those, and I also removed the damaged tissue from the leaves. And so if you want to watch how that was done, you can go to the previous One Thing You Need to Know video. But this video is going to be about choosing the best pot size. Now, one thing to kind of look at is to look at the pot the orchid previously came out of. So in this case, the Friend's Princess Phalaenopsis was potted in this relatively narrow and not so tall pot. And all of the roots did fit inside of there with a ton of sphagnum moss, which is the reason I'm repotting this orchid. So this can kind of be used as a guide for the new pot that I will be choosing for this orchid. We don't want to go much larger than this, and we may even want to stay very close in size to this original pot. If you put this Phalaenopsis in too large of a pot, it actually will not grow as robust of a root system than if you place it in a more appropriate sized pot, which is likely smaller or something close in size to its original pot. So we're just going to look here at some examples. This is a very large Phalaenopsis pot. And if we were to put this orchid inside here, there would be way too much space around those roots. It's just not even what the Phalaenopsis prefers. The Phalaenopsis would prefer to have its roots closer to the edge of the pot. And yes, this gives it a lot of growing space, but the media would probably need to be replaced before this orchid could actually fill up that cavity with new roots. So this is too large. Okay, the next size pot is slightly smaller than that first one. And you know, if I look at this, this is not too bad. And if this is the only pot I had, I would probably use it. I do like, for Phalaenopsis orchids, I like these pots that have a cone in the bottom with a lot of slots for aeration, as well as the slits on the side of the pot for aeration. I love these pots. But even this is the tiniest bit too large. And if you compare it to the original pot, that's a lot of extra space. So let's go down one more size. Now, this is not my favorite pot for Phalaenopsis, and when I use a pot like this, I still have some of these left from a previous purchase. I do go around with my wood burner and I put my own aeration holes in the side of the plastic so that it can have a bit more breathing space. But when we place this orchid inside this pot, it's more clear that it's a better fit. It's not all wobbly in the pot. There's not a lot of, extra space to have to put media. This is well suited for this orchid. It can probably stay in here for about 2 years as long as the media doesn't break down. And this is the appropriate sized pot for this Phalaenopsis. If we compare it to the original pot, you can see that my new pot is just the tiniest bit wider, which is fine. That gives the roots some room to grow over the next couple of years. And it's about the same height, which is perfect. And in fact, I think it's exactly the same height. So this pot is most appropriately suited to repot my Friend's Princess. Thanks for watching. That's one thing you need to know about choosing the correct pot size for your Phalaenopsis. Please hit the like button if you learned something from this video, and subscribe by clicking the button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. See you next time.